What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Now, as you probably read from the title of this video, I'm going to be going over the 3 most important things when it comes to starting your own online business. There's not a specific online business that I'm referring to in this case. It really applies to any sort of online business. It can be an agency, consulting business, coaching business. It can be a service, course, whatever it may be. These 3 principles are more like foundations, and a lot of people don't really pay attention to them as much as they should. And I know this because I've coached people on how to start an online business in 2 different industries, and they're completely separate. One of which was e-commerce, and the other one was a service-based business, which is high ticket, which is what I currently do now. A bit about me: I currently run a high ticket coaching business where I help people start or scale their own course or coaching business and be able to sell it upwards of like 3k, 5k, 10k, and so on and so forth. I've been doing so for about 2 years now. I started off when I was doing it alongside my 7-figure Amazon FBA business, but decided to shut that down, as well as my Amazon FBA coaching business, and help people start their own, because high ticket is the way to go. Number 1, I was going to say it's 3, but let's go with number 1. Current situation and desired situation of the target market that you're planning to sell to. Now, this is a simple principle, and if you've already been inside the service-based business industry or just business in general, you should have come across this term, where when you're trying to sell something to someone, you're trying to get them from point A to point B. Current situation to desired situation. It's very simple, but people always forget it. And I'll tell you what I mean. I had a client ask me today, "Oh, should I provide this as a service to my clients?" When they said this, and it could be anything, it could be marketing, we're just saying this for this example, but let's just say they said Facebook ads. Should we provide Facebook ads to my market? The simple answer is, does that mechanism help them get from point A to point B? And if it doesn't, then no, you shouldn't sell that to them. Because at the end of the day, people are not going to buy what it is you're providing to them as a means to an end. People are going to buy what the end is, and whatever means takes them to that end is just what comes with it. So for example, it's like if someone wants to lose weight, not many people care about how they lose weight, except as to whether or not it's easy, it's quick, and it actually delivers the promise that you brought up in the first place, which was to help them lose weight, right? Hence why you see like 101 different diet plans nowadays, and all of them work in their own special way. People prefer others, people say this one's better, this one's better, this one's better. There's no specific diet plan that people stick to get them to lose weight. People don't care. There's so many different ways to get someone to desired situation. But what you need to figure out is what that desired situation is, and whatever you use to get them people there, and by people I mean your target market, that's fine. So for example, if you're helping people get more clients, people don't care if you're helping them get more clients through Facebook ads or Instagram ads. Unless they've had a bad experience with one or the other, that's fine. That's subjective. That's dependent on who you're actually targeting, right? The likelihood of people having experienced a bad experience is dependent on who you're actually targeting. But that's going to be in any case. You might think, oh, let me go with Instagram ads, because there's going to be a lot of people that say Facebook ads is not something they prefer because Facebook are very strict and so on and so forth. They ban their account. But you're going to get the exact same thing if you do the opposite, where if you go with Facebook ads because you think Instagram ads aren't as effective because it's not Facebook, because you can't run them off Facebook's ads manager, which you can, but it's just an example, you're going to get the same sort of responses from people regardless. But at the end of the day, all you need to focus on as a business owner is by helping them get to point B from point A. So realistically, think about it like this, and this is how I like to explain it to my clients. People are trying to get from this point to this point anyway, but how they generally do it is on their own by walking. What you're trying to do is be the taxi driver getting them there. What's the taxi driver going to do? It's going to get them there faster. Do you care what an Uber comes in? No, whether it's a Toyota Prius or whether it's a Mercedes E-Class. Of course, a Mercedes E-Class is better than Toyota Prius, but it still gets you to your desired destination. And that's the exact same thing with business. All right. Number 2, making what you sell seem like a bargain. And before you assume, that means have the best price in the market, it doesn't. You do not want to have the cheapest price. Okay. You want to make what you sell seem valuable. Now, there's 2 things you need to evaluate before going about doing this. Do you have a starving crowd or not a starving crowd? Now, what I mean by that is if you have a starving crowd that are willing to buy whatever it is you sell because they're in need of it, they're starving, there's no one else that they can get it from, you can price it at whatever you want. The value is still important, but it's not as important as it would be if they weren't starving. I'll give you an example. Let's say a football match just finished at Wembley Stadium, right? and you've got a burger stand outside the stadium and you're the only burger stand there. And now obviously after a football game, people are probably going to be hungry. Let's just imagine there's no food in the football stadium or there's no burgers. You're going to have a starving crowd. People are not going to care if your burgers are £5, dollars, euros, whatever you want to call it, 10, 20, maybe 20. But you get what I mean? Like, they're not going to really care if it's 5, 10 or 15. Even though down the road, the shop that's supposed to be open, which is closed, it's $3. Because people are hungry. They're going to be willing to make the sacrifice this time only because they're starving. Whereas with a non-starving crowd, you're going to need to present the value because they can go to your competitors. Now, let's say there's 5 burger stands and, one is cheaper than you, one is more expensive than you, and so on and so forth. You need to create a reason for them to want to come to you rather than your other competitors. And that's done by presenting the amount of value in relation to how much you're charging. So let's say you're charging $15, but the normal price for a burger is like $8. You need to show them why your burger is worth $15 and worth them spending $7 more in opposed to them spending $8 on a burger from the other stand. So for example, you might have a meal rather than just a burger alone, right? Or if they buy the burger for $15, it's buy one, get one half price. Now obviously that's to do with price itself, but the point still stands. They're gaining more value by buying from you than going over to the other stand and just buying a burger alone for $8. Or let's say they collect stamps by coming from you, but they can't collect stamps from the other shop and they're a frequent buyer. That's one of the common reasons as to why places like Starbucks, Costa, Cafe Nero, and so on and so forth have loyalty cards, because it gets people coming back even though they're probably slightly more expensive than the local coffee shop. Now, number 3, once you've established what people want to buy, and I mean you've sold it now, and I don't care if you're selling something for $10, $100, $1,000 or $10,000. Once you've established that people want to buy what you're selling at the price point that you're selling it at, you've established your offer, you understand that there's proof of concept now. Your main priority, as well as obviously client acquisition, needs to be building the best product possible in relation to what they want. What I mean by that is if you're delivering a certain outcome, as we spoke about in the beginning of this video, you need to make sure that your product serves to the best it possibly can in delivering that outcome. And I mean everything. Everything from efficiency to effectiveness to time, absolutely everything. Because that's going to be one of your most valuable assets when it comes to business, because you're going to get referrals that way. You're going to get testimonials that way to be able to leverage for ads, for organic or whatever it may be. You're going to be able to get results for your clients. That should be your single most important focus, in addition to client acquisition, of course. Because now that you've got proof of concept, you know that people are going to be willing to buy. And what's better than having proof of concept is being able to prove to your target market that yes, it's exactly what they want because of others that have been in your program, based off their results, based off the testimonials, based off the things that people wanted from your program, and they've seen other people be able to achieve it, and they can relate to these people because they're within the same target market as them. And that's the same thing with anything else, right? We see testimonials, we see reviews and everything. Like, for example, me, when I'm looking for a restaurant, I always look at the reviews on Google. Why? Because I'm looking for a particular thing. Let's say I'm looking for pizza. I'm looking for people that have had the same experience that I'm aiming to have by going to get a pizza from this restaurant. And that's exactly what other people want to see as well. If you've got testimonials or reviews on what it is you sell, and those testimonials or reviews are explaining exactly what your target market would want, they're going to want to buy from you. You need to make sure your product aligns exactly with what people want. But that's that. If you found this video valuable, like, subscribe if you find this sort of content relevant. For a change, in the description, there is going to be a link for you to book in a call. By no means do you need to. Honestly, I don't even want you to if it doesn't really apply to you. I don't want to talk to people for fun. I want to talk to people for the sake of me being able to help them, if anything. But yeah, that being said, I haven't got like an email opt-in or a sales funnel or a, free live webinar to try to get you to come in just so I can give you an email. Just a Telegram community. If you actually want to join, I drop free value whenever I get a chance to. But yeah, other than that, if you enjoy this content, I will see you in the next one. Take care.